Well, welcome everybody to October 7th, 2024, Monday night. We're glad you're here, Ms. Connie. And
Welcome,
Connie
welcome.
Lucas, Senior Presidential Director. I'm Janet Kieffer, Senior Presidential Director. If you don't know us, we're here to give you a lot of great information tonight. We're excited that you're here. Please grab pen and pencil, grab your phones. You may want to take some notes. And we're going to just jump into, we're very excited tonight. Connie, why don't you tell them what we're going to talk about here?
Absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit about the importance of the virtual conference and attendance. We all know that in a perfect world, each and every one of us would be attending live, right? We see each other all the time on Zooms. We have this great connection, but getting there and being in person with each other and getting to get some great hugs is wonderful, but life doesn't always allow for that for whatever reason. So we're going to show you how you can participate, you can grow your business, and the importance of attending virtual and having your team attend virtually with you. We're then going to build on that, on building a foundation and how to make 2025 your best year yet. Janet and I both have personal experience to what you can do in the fourth quarter in network marketing business.
And it's a jam-packed 12 weeks coming up. So get ready, you guys. Well, we're going to jump right in here. As you know, the conference is in Dallas. And yet last year I couldn't attend because literally my daughter got married that weekend, of all the weeks in the whole year. So having the virtual replay really, really helped me. So Connie, take it away here on really talking about this whole virtual ticket and what's up for them.
Absolutely. And so we know that the conference is October. The main part of the conference that you could attend virtually is October 18th and 19th from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we will show you in just a minute what the agenda is, so you know the times that you need to be watching if you want to catch it live. It's really important to know that a virtual ticket is $129, and you can only purchase those until October 12th. And this is an end date. There's no, oh, oops, I didn't get in on the 12th. Can you give me one on the 13th? This is the end date, and you have plenty of warning here to get back to your teams and to be able to get this done. I also suggest start right now. Start earlier in the week so that if there is any issues, you have time to call customer service. You have time to get some help and support. And you are going to need to have, your name and, of course, a email that you will be using, because that is how the ticket is sent to you. I saw that Gwen asked in the chat if you have a conference ticket live, do you automatically have a virtual? No, what you have is a replay. And the replay in the past years, it's being done by the same company. As soon as the session is over, the replay is available. That has been what has always happened in your past. Let's say you have a in-person ticket and you can't attend. There's been some horrific thing that happened. There's no way all of a sudden you can get there. You can certainly call customer service and you can ask if perhaps they could switch it to a virtual ticket. They will not refund you the difference, but they may possibly be able to do that. But I would suggest, if that's the issue, you get into customer service and find out if it's an option right away. So Janet, you've got some experience with watch parties and what you can do with watch parties. Why don't you share a little bit about that?
Great, Connie. And right before I do notice at the bottom of the slide here, we've got the link where you can go find all of this out on Live Younger. You can register. Liz Hodges has put up an amazing site. You can click through and buy your ticket. And one of our teams, Sunshine Rose, put together a wonderful little invite you can download and invite people to come. So what's a watch party? Well, first of all, you're going to have a link to go in on Zoom and watch the event. Now, we've often gathered people in our homes. People might bring lunch stuff, drinks that we're sharing, and you're going to just hook your computer up to the TV. HDMI cord works real well, and everybody can be watching it. And I know when we had the January virtual conference, people said, oh, I can make it for an hour, and they stayed all day. It was just so compelling what's going to go on. So, but what happens, Connie, if all of a sudden I can't get out of an afternoon appointment, why would that replay be so helpful?
That replay is going to be helpful because, for example, for myself, every January we have a totally virtual conference, right? We have two conferences a year, one that's live and in person, one that's virtual. And Vision, which is generally speaking towards the third week, fourth week of January, I always work Saturdays. I had been a hairstylist for 42 years, and up until this last June, I worked every single solitary Saturday. And so it was great to have that virtual ticket, have that replay, and be able to come home from work and catch up on what I had missed that day. So really important to have it. Don't think, oh, I can't be there live, so I don't want it. You also, and I think we're going to talk about it potentially on one of our next slides, what you can do after the fact with this replay. So why don't you go over the agenda a little bit with them, and then we'll move on from there.
Well, thank you, Connie. And as you can see, it's not really topics, it's time. So it's going to start the general session each day at 8:30 in the morning, running till 12. We hope that David Schmidt is going to be on the Friday morning, which is what, the 18th. And so if you can catch that, please do. He's always got surprises. He's always shocked us every time. So you want to catch David. There's going to be a lunch break, 12 to 1:30. You can take off, do your errands if you're home watching, and then we'll be back from 1:30 to 5. And note, these are all Central Daylight Time, okay? So figure out what time zone you're in. All right, Connie, so what are the benefits of them attending?
Well, I want you to start off because you shared a story earlier with me about your first convention and what that was like for you.
Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Well, first of all, experiencing LifeWave the first year I went, I was a newbie. I think I was a director, and I had no clue how big this company was, even years ago. I was like, here's all these people from Asia, and here's all these people from Europe. I was like, wow, we're a lot bigger than I even thought. And you're in the excitement, even virtually at home. You're kind of seeing the depth and breadth and the scope, and you're hearing the leaders, and you're hearing these stories that truly can change your life, change one of your team's life. It may be that penny drop that dropped in they needed to hear. So you want to be in it, even if you're watching it, you guys. Also, you get the information firsthand. And there are going to be a lot of announcements, I have a sense. So you're not waiting weeks from now and go, oh, I missed that, right? So there's a lot. Have a pen and paper, have your camera, you're going to take screenshots. So tell them about what happens with the replay again, Connie.
Well, with the replay, a lot of people do the replay later. So I have teammates that, some people that are planning that they are going to be live at convention. So if you have a convention ticket, you do automatically get a replay. If you have a live convention ticket, just so you know, you also have the replay. And then if you buy a virtual, you have the replay. And so many are going to go ahead and take the key parts, the key takeaways. So maybe you decide to watch it for yourself or you attend in person, and then you're like, oh, they have to hear when David talked about this or that. Oh, they need to hear about the incentive trip coming up. Whatever those key parts are, you can use those pieces and you can plan a party so that you can bring people over and do a watch party even later, maybe the weekend after you get back or some evening. So it's a great way to introduce people to LifeWave. It's a great thing to get prospects in front of. And I want to share a story, and I'm hoping, I think Jennifer Allen, I've heard her share it, so I'm pretty sure she'll be okay with me sharing it. But 2 years ago, she made the decision to buy a ticket, a virtual ticket for Michael and Tracy Joe Jaco. They could not attend in person, and she got a confirmation that that they would watch it at home, and she purchased that ticket for them. I have done that with somebody I have new into our business. I have done the same thing. I know they'd purchase their own tickets. I know they understand the value of being there, but you know what? They're new. I value them. I don't want them to miss it. And that's my little gift to them, is that they've got a virtual ticket so they don't have to miss any of this. And they have it to replay as they build their team. And so you may consider, if consider somebody buying a virtual ticket for somebody that you'd like to light a fire under, that could make a difference. And many of us already know that Michael Jaco has been the #1 customer getter in the company for the past couple of years. He watched that event and he will tell you himself, It got him so excited seeing David speak, seeing that drone, seeing what this company was about and what the future had, that it really hit the entrepreneurial spirit in him, just got excited and took off. So we all know, and is talked about in this industry, big decisions happen at big events. And that was one of them. That was a big decision. That was a big event. He made a big decision. And I think that you will see that is in itself completely worthwhile, the $129 investment. The only thing that I would say, is make sure that they will actually watch it, or make sure that they're, later you're going to go and watch it with them. So that's what I would say to that piece.
And if I can underscore that, two of my team and I were at a seminar over the weekend, and unexpectedly, by the second afternoon, the process we had gone through, big events get you to big decisions. I finally committed to a decision I've needed to make all year. It's just been a hard decision. And they finally, that whole experience made me go, I've got to solve this. So you never know what's going on for people and the things they've been wondering about. Just trust the magic of the big events.
Absolutely.
So here we thought, okay, let's just go over, if you're actually going live, you're going to be in Dallas, kind of some things we'd like you to remember. So go ahead, Connie.
Yeah, one of the big things is you should have an email that came from in events that is your ticket with a QR code. That's going to be important for you to kind of hang on to that. And my hope is that they will be sending out this next week, a little bit before convention, resending out those emails so people can locate them easily. You're going to want to have access to that email. That is going to be your ticket. That's going to be how you do your name badge, all of that. But an important date is on that same little, when you log in, and you can log in with your email, and into your convention ticket, you have until October 10th if you would like to purchase the box lunches for Friday and Saturday. And I do want to reiterate, I know we've talked about it before, but many people, it's like, oh my gosh, $30 for a box lunch? You've got to be kidding me. I want you to know that LifeWave is subsidizing those purchases. This is a top of the line hotel, and they're subsidizing. I would venture probably half is being subsidized by the company for that lunch. Do you want to add anything else about the meals, Janet? I know you've been in communication a little bit with Robin on that.
Thanks, Connie. All we would say is they're working on possibly having a buffet on Friday night and Saturday night. I've heard we may be purchasing that but if you were going out to a hotel, you'd purchase, or a restaurant, you'd purchase a meal. They're going to have stopping places throughout the lobbies where you can pick up coffees and snacks. But if you can, bring some snacks, bring some things for yourself, maybe for breakfast and things. It's a wonderful hotel. I've been there many times. I think you'll enjoy it. And we should have great weather in Dallas in October. It's usually beautiful. But we got a big group. It's 6,000 people. And so we're going to probably hear about the meals coming up over this next week, but just maybe tuck some things in with you.
Absolutely.
Um,
There's a
okay.
question in the chat that I think is a really great question. Christina is asking, do you have to be at that hotel to get the lunches? Meaning, do you have to stay at that hotel? And that, no, you just need to be attending the conference.
Yeah, you don't have to stay at the hotel for sure, but you're going to pick up your box lunch at the hotel.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
They're great. But take care of your teams. We've got newbies coming. We've got people that have never been to this. They've probably seen each other on the little boxes on Zoom. Make sure your people connect with you and feel important. And it's a busy time and everybody's going to be all over the place, but take time to really connect and just let your team members know you're there for them. And if you've got questions, you can always come up to us. Connie, do you want to add anything to taking care of teams?
Well, I would just look at how are you going to communicate with your team. And depending on the size of your team will depend on how you do that. But some people like to, if you have a lot of people that are international, WhatsApp might be a really great way to put everybody onto WhatsApp to where you guys can communicate back and forth. Telegram, some people like to use those groups, or Messenger, Facebook Messenger. Many people operate off of Messenger, and they'll put together a group that way, or a text message chat. Depends on the size of your team. If you do have a very large team, it may be that you keep your leaders on a text thread with you, and you have your leaders keep their people on a text thread with them, so that you don't have hundreds of, 20 to 50 to 100 people chiming in over and over and over again on the same thing. So in my case personally, I will take my personally sponsored, and my personally sponsored or some of my key leaders will be on a text thread. And then I know that they know how to take care of their teams, and they'll communicate down from there. I always think it's important that everybody feel special, that everybody feel like they are valued and important. And so watch out for those people, where they be from your team or a crossline team, who maybe they don't have anybody there with them. Maybe
Yeah.
they've come solo. Maybe they just have them and one other brand partner. And they're like, oh, there's these big teams. And what about me? Invite them in, make them part of you, ask them to sit with lunch with you. This is something that we definitely want to encourage crossline within our teams as well.
Great, Connie. You really want them to feel welcome. And if you're brand new and it's one or two of you, you know how you guys feel like, I got invited to the party, but I don't know anybody, right? One other thing I would say on the WhatsApp or Telegram or those things, you can shut off the notifications so they're not binging and tinging the whole time, and still be up to date. You can just check in, because some people are like, I don't want to hear all that. Just shut off the notification. It's fine. So seating, we've heard that there's going to be a better plan than perhaps last year. We don't know what it is quite yet, but I've heard that our new director, Josh of events, is really very skilled at this. So hopefully that's going to go well. There is a place for people with wheelchairs or walkers to line up, and they get special entry, and we get taken care of them. And then Connie, touch on the security if you would.
Yeah, the security is going to be real important. When we were a little bit of a smaller company, they might have used just inside employees being the security, but private security has been is going to be on staff, and so everybody can feel very safe, very secure. You're not going to, you're not going to be able to go up to a door you're not supposed to be going into and go, oh, hey, so and so, let me in. You will need your lanyard. Make sure you wear your lanyard at all times. In past, when we had a smaller community, you might be able to walk in and out without it, but there will be quite a bit of security. And so you will want to make sure you have that with you. And so that's all I would have to say on that.
And also, we don't know, but it's the 20th year anniversary. They may have gifts for us. So you might want to bring a little carry-on bag you tucked in that way, and get out and meet new people. You guys, this is our family, our community. You may have heard of someone, say hello. It's just a wonderful time to all be together. And I know we've got some hands raised. Connie, do you want to check what we've got there and maybe answer those questions?
I've been watching the chat, so we're pretty good. I know that Rowena was concerned that there's only 2 weeks for the replay. They don't usually get rid of it, Rowena. It's usually at least 2 weeks before they start making any part of it public. So after 2 weeks, you might get clips from the company, but technically in the past, it's been for 2 weeks, only the people with a virtual ticket and only the people who have been to conference with a live ticket are able to have access to the replay, but it does
Connie,
usually go on. Yes.
Connie, this is Liz,
Hi,
and
Liz.
I read in a corporate FAQ on the event that it's going to be available for 4 weeks.
Beautiful. Thank you, Liz. Thank you. Thank you.
Great, great. Those of you who raised your hand, maybe put this, since a webinar, we can't quite do certain things, put your question in the chat and we'll make sure we get to it that way.
Yep, that's
But
great.
as we finish this section, if you're new with us and you think, I just can't go, please get your ticket. After last year when I couldn't be there, since I was with my daughter and her wedding, it was so nice to know I really didn't miss anything, right? But you need to promote this to your team. Don't just go, hey, buy a ticket. you've got to really tell them why they want to be there and why what they're going to hear and how they're going to be in the know and how they're going to see the company in new ways they've never seen it. And if you're in here to build a business, if you're in here, you love our products, well, David's probably going to have some surprises for us. And so you want to be there, but please have some enthusiasm with your team. Tell them when the deadline is, keep posting. Anything else, Connie, before we transition on?
No, it's a perfect transition to that. This is the kickoff of your biggest quarter of the year. This is the kickoff to fourth quarter. It's what leads in to everything. It is that important. So if you transition into the notes there, we'll take a look and see where we are.
Great. So truly, this is Connie saying, building a foundation for next year. And I can tell you this year in 24 has been an astounding year for me, but it's not been the easiest year. I was really building a foundation with my team like never before. So you don't have to think that all years are this skyrocketing. You work each year differently, but we're setting you up with this next section of how you may have the best year of all with LifeWave. So jumping in here, those of you who've not been through the fall yet with us, please take some notes. We're here tonight on Monday, the 7th of October. We've got October, November, December. So Connie and I are going to give you a preview of what happens here. They're the biggest months of the year. They're also the biggest months for every network marketing company. So if you think, oh, I'll get to that. I got time. Guess what? The heat is on, you guys. The game is on with every other company trying to get their dollars, their gifts, their mind share. So in October, of course, we've got the 17th, people are coming in. We're in the conference 18th and 19th. But if the LifeWave does what they did last year, they announced the travel incentive trip for coming up next spring at the convention. But what did they do? They started the qualifications on the 1st of the month. So if you don't hear about it for 2 weeks, you've lost half a month. So we really encourage you is don't take your foot off the gas. Keep sharing and keep sharing because you want to go into November, which is the biggest of all as we get to the Black Friday. And the 28th of November is Thanksgiving here in the US. That's going to start our Black Friday on the 29th and the 30th and go through about the 4th of December. So Connie, give them an idea what happens in this week.
Well, this week is where volume really, really comes in. They're buying gifts, but they're also getting great deals. They're stocking up maybe on extra things that they don't normally buy, waiting for that. Oh, I'm just gonna wait and stock up on my whole Alavita kit, or I'm gonna give them out for gifts, or I'm gonna get extra patches I didn't get before because they're such a great deal. And so with that rises up your GVU, which your GVU is your group volume unilevel, meaning all your line of sponsorship. And that is important for senior director and above. Senior director and above requires not only a structure to your business of, a manager on each side, 2 directors either side, but it also requires volume. So you've got 10,000 at senior director, 50,000 at executive, 100,000 at presidential, 200,000 currently at SPD. And so that volume is rolling for 31 days. And so as you get that peak volume there in November, it drops off the last week from 5 weeks ago. And that big volume keeps rolling so that by the time you're cresting into December, you are coming into the time when more ranks are broke, and you're coming into a time where I don't know what they're going to do, but in past years, there's a lot of times been a rank advancement bonus during that time frame. Don't know if they will or not, but I'm going off, as I think about my team and what they're doing, I'm going off of assuming that that's the time frame. Janet, I know that you hit presidential and senior presidential right there at Black Friday. Is that correct?
That's correct. And it's pretty astounding. So we play team. This is a team sport, you guys. You're going to be helping your team. So we love that you want to celebrate with your family. We don't want to take away from that. And some of you will be traveling. But if you can, carve out some time from the 28th, 29th, 30th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, because they'll have Cyber Monday. They'll have different product promotions. It's really moving during that time. And if you can, stay with us because it'll be so worth it. And I think we're in the holidays and you're like, well, I'm going to be with family. Well, sometimes if you can give a little attention here now, it's going to pay off next year and the year beyond. It'll just catapult you into 25. But Connie, talk a little bit about mid-December and getting into the Christmas holidays.
Well, getting into that, I mean, this all rolls in. So for example, Janet was just telling you, she hit her highest rank, you know, two highest ranks in that month, a year apart. I did the same thing, only I hit them in December, January, because I hit it from the momentum afterwards that kept rolling into things. And so really, I mean, I know that there's certain times I think, it's not unreasonable for most people to really keep the pedal to the metal through at least the 15th of the month, or at least that third week in December. I think that as you see some of the promotions come out, it will ring true to that. And again, we honor the time with our families and everything else. But I have to tell you, I've run hard for 4 years. I've run very, very hard through a lot of things, and that sometimes takes some sacrifice. But now I'm able to, with growing my leaders, with taking my time, now I'm able to take some time to go and do some things that I haven't been able to do in the past years, take some time off, get myself out of another business so I have even more free time, because I did commit those 4 years to being very serious and running hard. And it changes everything in your life. It absolutely does.
It absolutely does. And again, we honor and respect. If you want to stay manager and you're just sharing the patches, we love you. Great.
Yep.
We got a world out here to heal. But for those of you who, I know we have some people ready to break senior director and ready to break executive director, that GVU, which is group volume unilevel that she talks about, don't worry, the computer's tracking it. But that's the scorecard during Black Friday, and you're watching it like a hawk because it's just climbing. So we're here to help you. We're here to help the leaders that we have on our teams. We're here to, I'm sure you're going to hear a lot more about this in November, so don't worry, we got a lot more coming. But if you can, commit to yourself and your business, and you might say, hey, I'm happy to come visit, this evening, but today, this afternoon, I'm working on my business. And make yourself a priority because it is worth it. It truly is. Anything else, Connie, before we go
No, the
on?
last thing I'd wrap up with is if those things do resonate with you and it's important, when you're having your monthly growth sessions with your upline, when you're working with your team leaders, it's important to reach out to your sponsor or your mentor and let them know this is what I'm looking for, so they can help you strategize. And then you can go back to your team, because you need running mates to do this. So you can go back and find out who's interested, who's running, who wants to do this with me. And that will set you up for success. So reach out to your upline and let them know what it is you want to try to achieve.
Great point, Connie. If you have someone on your team you feel comfortable with, a running partner is just fabulous. And you keep each other up and you start going, oh, I got this, I got that, or how do I deal with this? All right, so we're going to wrap up tonight. We've got perhaps some assignments: how to make 2025 your best year yet, how to leverage the excitement coming out of the convention into November, into the holidays. So Connie, why don't you jump in here and start on bullet point 1?
I got to get back to my Zoom. It just kicked me off.
Okay. All right, well, I'll start with
You
it.
start off.
Okay, so if you're a team lead, get with your leaders. This is recorded. Have them watch it if they aren't on tonight. Help them understand what we're talking about through the next 3 months. Help them get in action. Do you make a new list? Do you connect back to people you haven't talked to? One thing I've got going, I'm assuming we've got some new products coming out, and I've talked to people. Hey, may I get back with you? You haven't been in touch for a while. There may be some new things LifeWave's doing. Can I get in touch with you? And they're like, yeah, I want to know. So get in action right now. Don't wait till after convention, because there's a lot of things moving right under the surface of the water that you're going to be, oh, I got to pay attention here. So go ahead, Connie.
So share this recording with your from liveyoungeryoutube.com. Liz is always fabulous at getting these recordings in the Live Younger YouTube channel. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe to it, get your team subscribed to it, and you'll be able to share this recording so that you are learning to do what we do in network marketing, which is point to a tool.
Because you can't remember all this stuff. When people go, it's like, tell me about the movie, and you like remember 3 things, right? But you like the guy, whatever. Yeah, get him on the recording. Also, have a list of your convention attendees if you're going to be there, just organizing. I've been doing that for weeks, and we're just making sure everybody's connected.
Absolutely. You know, you're going to promote the virtual attendance this week, like we talked about, and you're going to help people plan virtual watch parties for the 18th and 19th. But I love this next piece: plan post-convention virtual watch parties. And a step further, plan patch parties and get them on the calendar. So I know that already on our team, we have a regional setup. We have patch people getting locations and rooms for other regional events. People are doing in-home patch parties, and we're putting them on the calendar now so that they are ready to go when we get back in November, first week of January. You know, that's our time frame that we can get people to these type of events. And so we have already got those calendared, booked out, ready to go. So we are ready to roll when we're excited and we come off of that. And then Janet, I'll let you go on to vision.
If I could just underline a little what Connie's
Sure.
saying, going back to plan virtual watch parties for those of people, like right now, we have a group here that are going to watch for the 18th and 19th, and we're putting them together. But to Connie's point, start planning some post-convention watch parties. That's really important, you guys. People like to get together. You're going to come back like, oh my gosh, my hair's on fire. You're not going to believe what happened. They want your excitement, right? And you can do it on Zoom. We do a lot of virtual, Zoom post parties. And so however you need to have it. But tonight, calendar some things. I really invite you, get out your calendar for October, November, and December. You're in business. If you had a storefront and you sold holiday things, wouldn't you be completely outfitted right now in the store, ready for the holidays? You might have advertising, you're bringing people in. Well, you have a store, and these are the holidays, and people are buying for people. So see yourself, I got to get ready for the holidays. I got to let people know I'm here. So again, you're in business. So we will know about the January Vision Conference. It's always virtual. It's David kicking off the year. You're going to hear about it in convention, and we'll get you on board with that. But also, there's a boot camp in Southern California on December 7th, where corporate will be there. Connie and a lot of the senior presidential directors had this boot camp in Houston that I attended with a lot of people in May, and it was stunning. They worked so hard. It was so well received. It was right on point. So if you or any of your team can join them on December 7th, again, another high point, another event to get your team really learning and growing that way. So
And boot
Connie,
camp,
what would you say wrapping up?
well, wrapping up for boot, let me just add on to boot camp. For boot camp, this is where you're going to get that training. That what are the everyday income producing activities that you do to build a business? And I can tell you that many of our team came that were just starting to build their business, and it has changed everything about the growth of the business from what they learned. At this boot camp, it is being taught by the field leaders who are in the trenches every day doing the work. And it really simply is one of the best trainings I've ever seen. And so that boot camp, I know Robin and Gregory Mascari will be attending that boot camp. I will unfortunately be in Florida with an event that was already previously planned with my team in Florida area, but there are going to be great leaders, and I will be sending all of my team that isn't on the East Coast over to the West Coast to the California boot camp. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go in and buy them now. Get them now, get them reserved. And one thing I can definitely tell you that I've noticed over the years in this industry is that nobody does things that they don't, people only do what the leader does. And if I'm going to want my people to go to something, I need to purchase my ticket first. I need to be able to say, I've got my ticket, I've got my room, I've got my plane reservation, and I am going to this. That is how people follow the leader. So definitely get your tickets. Don't put it off.
If I can also just again underscore Connie's wisdom, people do what you do. They also do what you don't do. And if you're not doing things, they're not doing things. If you're doing things, they're doing things. It's, as they said, everything we need to know about network marketing, we learned in kindergarten. You learned how to play follow the leader and you loved it. That's what we're doing here. We're playing follow the leader that way. So we thank you for this. We can open it up to chat questions. Connie, if you can take a look there.
I think we're good. I think you've done a great job.
Okay. Well,
Beautiful.
again, everybody, we're looking forward to seeing you in Dallas. Very excited. It should be great weather. And if you have concerns or questions, get with your upline. I'm sure we'll be talking more about these topics through the next months. And we do appreciate your time here every Monday night with us. And thank you, Connie.
Thank you, Janet.
All right. Good
Have
night,
a
everyone.
great night. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Liz.